All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. Got a pretty good slate of games today. You got NBA back, Major League Baseball, NHL. We got a new college basketball national champion, UConn, which I'm going to talk about that a little bit more here in a second. But I went, was it 2-3? I think yesterday. Yeah, 2-3 on my picks yesterday. I had UConn at the -7.5. Had Yankees winning, but then I had the Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Mariners, and they all lost. So that puts me at 186-62 on the year. But back, I was going to say, I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. With UConn, they had one of the most dominating tournaments in history, and a lot of people ain't really talking about it.
No,
It's
they
getting
did.
overlooked a little bit about how dominant they were. They won almost every game by an average of 20 points. They held the last five opponents to like 32% shooting. I mean,
Yeah.
they done it on both ends of the floor, and I don't I don't know if it's because some of the bigger schools went in the final four this year or what, but you you would think they'd be get how dominant they were would be getting talked about a little bit more than what it is.
Well, they dominated a team that's been one of the better college teams over the last 5 or 6 years. Gonzaga
Oh yeah,
completely destroyed Gonzaga. I mean, that was a big victory. Yeah, it was a great tournament. You guys were talking about it on the afternoon blitz about which was the women's tournament or the men's tournament. To me, I thought the men's tournament was more memorable because there were so many upsets. That was just me personally. But I do agree about that big upset with South Carolina getting upset. Um,
because they hadn't been beat for almost two seasons, and I mean, I thought both tournaments was great. I think this was a great year for the women because I mean, you had almost 10 million people watch the finals, most ever. I think the women tournament got there a little more. I still think NCAA does it wrong. I think that women's tournament would double in size if they didn't do it at the exact same time as the men's. And I think it'd be more. I think NCAA would make more money that way too if you done them separate.
yep.
I don't understand why you run them simultaneously like that because it's hard to watch both
Yeah.
for one, and I think you get more the women. I think more people would tune into the women if it was separate because if and I'm not saying it's right, but most people, if you give them the choice of the men or the women, they're going to watch the men's tournament. I mean, men's tournament's been around so long; it's so popular.
I think the men's tournament. This is the way it's going to be for a while with the parity.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I like it. I thought it
think
was.
it's. People think I know Colin Coward didn't like it. Was coming down on it a little bit, and when the Final Four, before the Final Four was played, he said, "Yeah, you really ain't got no big names, but next year Duke will be back." I don't think that's going to happen because it's still going to be a lot of these 1 year guys
I
are
wonder.
done.
I'm interested to see what the rating was for last night's game and like the Final Four. What were what the ratings were for that?
Yep.
Because I know a lot of people felt like that the TV networks was going to be upset because they weren't going to get as many views and stuff because you didn't have none of the blue bloods and all that. But now, did I watch much of the final? Did I watch any of the Final Four? No, but it wasn't because of the teams that was in it.
I would have watched it.
I went to watch the Final Four. If it could have been Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, all the big schools, and I still went to watch the Final Four Saturday night because I was watching WrestleMania.
Yeah, we always watch
So
WrestleMania.
I mean, I didn't watch the Final Four, but it wasn't because of the teams that was in it. It was because WrestleMania was on. Now, when WrestleMania was just on Sunday, I always watched the Final Four on Saturday. And last night, I watched the national championship game. I was going back and forth between that and Raw, but I actually, which I know they'll talk about tonight because Jay's not going to be happy about it. I was the only one that had UConn and San Diego State when we done our picks for the Final Four the other day. He had FAU in Miami, and I think Logan had San Diego State. I think he had Miami beating UConn, which I would have liked to see Miami beat UConn, but the way UConn was playing, I wasn't going. It was hard to go against them. Hey, how's it going, Glenn?
Oh, by the way, my picks yesterday, I went 4-0. Hit all three of my NHL parlay, and my college basketball had UConn, so I went 4-0 yesterday.
Did you have Vegas?
Yes.
I saw you do a little fist pump last night when Vegas
Vegas
won.
won, yeah.
I said, well, he must have picked Vegas.
Well, plus Vegas is my team too.
See, Glenn said the game was anticlimactic last night. Raw wasn't much better. Yeah, I kind of agree.
Raw was it was like I said.
It was weird. It wasn't.
Well, it was a lot of talking. Like I told Chris, I think there might have been because of a lot of injuries. I mean,
It could have been, but it wasn't. It wasn't what I was expecting though for a Raw after Mania. It wasn't one of the. I didn't think it was one of the better Raws after Mania.
I liked the opener, like Triple H.
Yep.
I liked even the segment with.
Yeah, there was moments I liked.
I liked the segment with Cody and all them and Brock coming out, and then I even like a lot of people don't like. I like Brock Turner.
Yeah, I like that. I wasn't expecting it, especially to happen like it did.
Brock is Cody is going to be in the hard times.
I'll be honest with you. I knew something was going to happen because of how late.
What did I tell you after the segment? I asked you. I said, "Is Brock going to turn?" I asked you that.
Yeah.
I asked you that right after that segment.
I knew something was going to happen though because of how late they went in to start that main event because you only had like 10 minutes or so, and I'm like, that don't make sense. Make a whole lot of sense not with these four guys. So it made me think something was going to happen. But even if Brock turned, I wasn't expecting it to be that way. He just beat the shit out of him, which was John says, "Go UConn." Hey, UConn had a great season. Great season. Glenn was talking to Tony last night. The wheels got turning. I decided if I'm going to Mania in Philly, I needed to start now if I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw where Glenn was saying he might not go to any road Pacers games next year and go to WrestleMania. I'd like to go to WrestleMania. I'm hoping that 41 we might get lucky to be in Indianapolis. I picked two parlays today. John said he picked two parlays today. Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, and Blue Jays all -1.5. I'm gonna be giving out the Mets, the Mariners, and the Yankees or the three Major League Baseball games I'm going with today. I want to go with the Reds against the Cubs, but I'm not going to. I haven't been picking them and they've been winning, so I'm gonna stay away from it for right now. Reds have a Cessa on the mound tonight. Well, be next game we'll probably back to green.
I would say so.
And he took Cleveland, Dodgers, Astros, and Seattle on the other one. Glenn said he hopes it's in Indy for 41. He said back to back.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be in Indy. I think because we're going to get that Royal Rumble. I'd like to see it. I would love to see it. Hopefully, we get that Royal Rumble.
I think we'll get a WrestleMania eventually again. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised because I told you when they first built Lucas Oil, I figured we'd get a WrestleMania because usually the new stadiums go up. They go in there and set the attendance records and stuff. So I figured we'd get one, and the way Indianapolis is set up is perfect. It's perfect to host big events because you can walk so many places.
You can do SmackDown right there at the
right across the street at Bankers or Gainbridge.
They got the convention centers closed. They got everything there set up. They really do. A lot of hotels down there. It's very well set up.
Oh yeah, and Glenn, if that Rumble gets announced, we'll be going to that.
Yeah, we're going.
All right, where you? Let's see. Get the odds pulled up. We'll start. Starting the NBA, then we'll jump over to some baseball. But
hey, maybe we can sweet talk Mikey and he can get us backstage.
You never know.
With Rikishi. He was backstage. It wasn't a WWE event, but he was backstage for that Ric Flair
last
match. He was there with Rikishi backstage.
I know he's been down there at WrestleMania with a few years ago in New York with
when it was New York.
He was down there with Gallows and Rikishi and a bunch of them.
Yep.
He's told me some stories.
Oh yeah,
he's told me some stories about that weekend.
Yeah, we can't repeat any of those stories, but yeah, he told us some stories.
Oh yeah. Real quick, don't forget this weekend we'll be live streaming 2 pro wrestling shows.
Gonna be two real good ones.
Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, will be live. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. DCCW Invasion 4, live from Portland, Indiana, featuring WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi is going to be there.
Tickets.
Buff Bagwell is going to be there. I know if you plan on going to the show, I would contact either I'd get on there and look at the J County options to get tickets, or contact DCCW Facebook page. I know front row sold out. Second row is real close to being sold out. There might be one or two VIP table left, and then I know they've sold a shitload of general admissions from what I've been told as well. So
I think
if you want tickets, I'd be getting tickets. And if you do have tickets, especially general admission, I would get there early.
I think it's going to be a sellout.
I'd get in there early so you can pick out the seat you want. So it should be awesome. And then Sunday, we're going to be in Greenfield, Indiana for Summit Pro. I can't remember what the name of the show.
I don't remember either.
But they're doing an Easter egg hunt for kids before the show at 3:30. Wrestling starts at 4. We'll be live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter for that. Summit Pro's been putting on some great shows, so I don't expect anything.
We got that Dale Patrick and
Jawan Thomas match. I'm looking forward to that.
That can have been anywhere in Indiana, so that's a great match, and there's other great matches on that card. So,
John said, looking forward to Saturday night with you guys.
Yeah,
hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate everybody that tunes in. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Also, hit like and follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. We're like 1 or 2 followers away on Facebook from hitting 1,000. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to get there today. We was at 999 yesterday, and I woke up this morning. We're at 998. So let's get up to 1,000.
Who did we piss off?
I don't know. We lost one. We lost a follower on Facebook, but we gained a couple more on YouTube. So
piss somebody off. I'll blame it on you.
I'll blame it on Jay. I'll blame it on Jay. But all right, NBA tonight. I'm going to go with first game I like is the Cleveland Cavaliers at the Orlando Magic. The Cavs are that's actually changed. They're 4.5 point favorites. It was 5. They're minus 194 on the money line. The Magic are plus 162 on the money line. Over-unders at 222. I like the Cavs at the minus 4.5 in this game. Next game that I like in the NBA, the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Brooklyn Nets. Timberwolves are 2-point favorites, minus 130 on the money line. The Nets are plus 110 on the money line. Over-unders at 224. Good. Said probably Frankie.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Oh, shit. That's a good one. The Timberwolves are 39-40, 2-3 over their last 5. Nets are 43-35, 4-1 over their last 5. I like the Timberwolves at the minus 2. Boston Celtics at the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers are 2.5 point favorites at home, minus 142 on the money line. The Celtics are plus 120 on the money line. Over-unders at 227.5. Celtics are 54-24 in the season, 4-1 over their last 5. They lead the season series 3-0 over the Sixers. The Sixers are 51-27, 2-3 over their last 5. I like the Celtics here. It was plus 2 earlier. Now it's at plus 2.5.
Why do you think they're getting the points? Because it's Philly.
Yeah,
but I mean, they beat Philly every time they played them.
Yeah, one of those games, at least one of them was in Philly.
I didn't know if Boston had somebody out or anything.
From what I saw, it looked like from the injury report I saw, Boston was playing. They might be missing one guy, but I can't remember who it was now. But it wasn't like it was Tatum or Brown. And that's going to be my picks for the NBA today. I got just those 3 games. The Cavs 4.5, but Timberwolves minus 2, Celtics plus 2.5. You have a lot of other games, but I didn't like the spreads in a lot of the games today. Yeah, and you got some teams sitting out players and stuff because you're down to like the last 3 or 4 games of the season.
Yeah, my NBA parlay for tonight, I got Boston plus 2.5 at Philly. I got Cleveland and Orlando. I'll take over the 2 20 over the 222, and then I got Toronto at Charlotte. I'll take over the 223. That's my parlay for the NBA tonight.
All right. Before we jump into the next one, another thing I wanted to mention, I forgot. Also, because we was talking about the wrestling, May 4th, 5th, and 6th, we're going to be at the Indianapolis Comic-Con.
5th, 6th, 7th.
5th, 6th, and 7th. Excuse me, that weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
But we're going to be at the Indianapolis Comic-Con with WCWO wrestling. Wild, what was it?
Wild.
WCWO World Championship Wrestling Outlaws.
Yep.
Right?
I believe so.
But we're going to be there. There'll be shows from like 10 in the morning till 10 at night, Friday and Saturday. And then I think it's from like 10 in the morning to like 5 or 6 in the evening on Sunday.
Yep.
So we'll be streaming live. So join us for that as well.
I think we'll have the wrestling shows.
And at that wrestling show, it will be a little different because like most of our normal shows right now, we only have the one camera, and we're working on where we can have multiple cameras once we get the funding. But at this show, it sounds like there's going to be 4 or 5 different cameras, so there's going to be different camera angles. I mean, it should be pretty awesome at these shows.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. I think we'll be having some interviews with the wrestlers also. It's going to be cool.
Yes, should be a fun weekend. So make sure you check that out as well. Major League Baseball got a lot of games tonight. Our Cincinnati Reds are playing the Cubs here at 6:41. Got a win against them yesterday. We have, like I said, we have Cessa on the mound tonight. The Cubs are slight favorites, but not much. They're minus 130. Reds are plus 110. I really don't know the pitcher the Cubs have on the mound. But the games I like the New York Mets at the minus 1.5. Actually, I took the Mets on the money line. But actually, no, I'm taking them on the minus 1.5. You get better odds. You get better odds if you take the Mets on the minus 1.5 than you do money line, which is a lot of times not the case. You get plus 105 juice at the minus 1.5. Then I like the Mariners against the Angels. Seattle's at home with Luis Castillo on the mound. I like Seattle on the money line there. Or no, I'm taking Seattle with the minus 1.5 there too. Shit. Either way, you get decent odds, but you get better odds if you do the minus 1.5. Glenn said trying to compete with WWE with all those cameras. I think it's going to be pretty cool because it'll be the first time I've done it with the multiple cameras and stuff. So I think it'll be cool to have the different camera angles. I know we're working on at least having one other camera. We're gonna have a roaming camera around the ring. That'd be pretty awesome to be able to have that angle as well. But at the Comic-Con shows, from what I hear, it sounds like if everything goes like they have planned, they plan on having 4 or 5 different cameras. And the other game was the Yankees. I must have passed that one. That must have been up here. Yankees play the Phillies. Yankees are minus 1.5 favorites, minus 162 on the money line. They have Germán on the mound against Strand for the Phillies. Phillies have got off to a rough start. I like the Yankees in that game. So that's going to be my 3 picks for Major League Baseball. Mets minus 1.5, Mariners minus 1.5, and the Yankees. Yankees minus 1.5 as well.
I've got an NHL parlay for tonight. I got Columbus versus Toronto. I got Toronto money line win. I got Vegas money line win at Nashville, and I got Ottawa at Carolina. I'll take Carolina money line win in that game. So that's my parlay for the NHL.
For what, NHL?
Yep.
You didn't have no baseball?
Nah, I ain't did any baseball yet. I'm trying to work up to it. I don't know.
Baseball can be tricky because baseball is just one of them sports you never know what's going to happen. Hey, thanks, Billy. I appreciate it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I seen that.
Hey, that should put us back up to $9.99. You woke up this morning and it said $9.98. It's like, well, we lost one, but then I got on our YouTube page earlier, and we've gained a couple there, and we're pushing closer to getting on YouTube, getting where we can get monetized on YouTube. So please hit that subscribe button on YouTube as well. Like I said, we appreciate everybody that watches. Appreciate everybody that gets in the chat group as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
Did you have any other games?
No, I did not.
You also, for all you golf fans, Masters this weekend. And Dad knows I watch golf. I watch especially the Masters. I won't get to watch as much of it this weekend as I normally watch because I got the wrestling shows on Saturday and Sunday. But I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it Thursday and Friday quite a bit. The favorite to win the Masters is Scotty Scheffler at plus 700. You got McIlroy at plus 700, Rahm at plus 950, Jordan Spieth at plus 1700, Justin Thomas at plus 2100, and Patrick Cantlay at plus 1800. I like Rahm and Thomas. Rahm at plus 950 and Thomas at plus 2100. I like. You can get Tiger Woods at like plus 6500 or something. I thought about just throwing like $10 on him. But I would love to see Tiger win another Masters, but just with his health and everything, and he just don't get to play in enough tournament. It's hard to win a tournament like the Masters when you don't get to play in other tournaments to kind of get ramped up for it. And the way his body is, he can't. So I'll be watching this weekend. Hopefully, he has a good weekend, but I'd be real surprised. Now I'd really like it. I'm a big Tiger fan, but yeah, he's probably one of the longest odds, I bet. Let's see where they have him at. He was like plus 6,500, but he might not even be on here no more.
No, why, right?
Yeah. That's all right. I'm about ready to start posting that other stuff again to help post the flyer. But yeah, they're doing that. It'd be different if I ain't gonna say it.
You know.
I ain't even gonna say it because it just pisses me off. You know what it all comes down to? It all comes down to jealousy.
Jealousy. Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Tigers plus 7,000 now. So I mean, hell, if he did hit, you could win some good money. Plus 7,000. Yeah, that's all that is. A bunch of.
Yeah, but it's kind of dumb because they're going to be there.
Yeah,
they're there too.
Yeah, they're going to be there, and they're going to be advertising the show there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't just have one table there either. They have multiple tables.
Yes, they're.
I don't think they probably don't even realize that because there's a Phoenix Design table. There's the Heat of Shenanigans table, which is with DCCW.
Yes.
You know, I mean, they got multiple tables out there.
Yeah. They're dumbasses.
It comes down to jealousy because somebody has connections and somebody else don't.
Well, and not only that, you got to have the ball to do what DCCW is doing. You got to have balls. I mean,
you got to have faith. You got to have faith that people are going to show up.
Come, and also you got to have people have faith in you because this show's not DCCW show. This is Jay County show.
Yeah.
That DCCW is
doing it as a fundraiser for Jay County.
But I mean, they got or like the fairgrounds bought a show from DCCW last October, which was a huge success.
And if it's not a success, then they're not going to bring you back.
Do it again. And now was it a big success? Now they're doing the show again in October. They're going to be on the fairgrounds.
Yeah, it was such a success that they got to do that show again and gain the show.
And gain other shows at other fairgrounds. So, not to go off on a tangent, it's just that we have.
There's two. Put it simple. There's two wrestling organizations here in the same city, and in my In my opinion, one of them's better than the other.
It ain't even
But
close. But that's not the point.
but the point is the one they, for some reason they can't just work together. I know the one wouldn't have had a problem with maybe now after the stuff that happened, but before it's just egos.
It's egos and
To me, it's more jealousy.
Yeah, more jealousy than anything. And one's went out of the way to try to do things that to
hurt the other one.
To hurt the other one and hurt.
And my thing is if you want to do that, that's one thing. But when you're doing it at events that are fundraisers for kids and you're trying to take away from the kids, that's what bothers me. Because DCCW does most of their show. Well, I'm not gonna say most, but quite a few of their shows are
Majority.
basically charity events. Majority of they do a show for Muncie Central High School wrestling team where all proceeds go to the high school wrestling
concessions and everything.
They do the same thing for Jay County High School. They've done that for this will be the 4th year. This will be the 3rd year for Central. They do a free show at the big Juneteenth celebration here in town. I mean, they've done last summer they done a fundraiser for a kid that was getting ready, that's had like 12 surgeries.
Yes.
And all the proceeds went to him. So I mean, they do a lot for the community. So that's what
they do. They do free shows. They did a free show in Anderson at a community center. They did a free
at
show
Soul Fest.
At Soul Fest. Soul Fest in Anderson. They did a free show at Juneteenth.
Yeah, that's what aggravates me is you got guys that are doing stuff for the community and helping kids, and then you got these other guys that try to sabotage it because they're mad because this organization is doing that. Doing stuff and they're not
successful. And don't get me wrong, the other place, I'm not going to say their name because they don't deserve their name to be said, but they have fans and they have good fans who love their organization, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And I'm glad that they have fans, and I'm glad the independent wrestling
because it helps wrestling as a whole
is thriving. I'm glad that it's thriving. I have a problem with the people running that organization that want to attack other people's good names. They attacked last year. They attacked the wrestling coach at Muncie Central.
Yeah,
the day of the show, they attacked them and put out all kinds of stuff and attacked the school board and everything just because they didn't want people to go to the show. And they had 600 people show up for this fundraiser, and Central raised thousands of dollars, just like the Jay County show took in thousands of dollars last year for that wrestling.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It sounds like this Jay County Invasion show is going to be bigger than last year's.
Yeah, and
from what I'm hearing, because I was at last year's, and I think this one's going to be even bigger.
And I know the work that Mike does, Jared Bird does, and I know the work that Terry Coons and also a guy that helps tremendously for them. The gentleman that runs WCWO, Chris, help me with the name because I'm having a brain fart.
JKO,
Joey Owens. Sorry, I have trouble with names. I'm getting old. I'm almost 60. I have brain farts sometimes, but I know the work that these guys do to put on the show, putting up the ring, getting everything set up, do all the work that they do, and do a great job. And I'm a community guy. A lot of people may not understand
exactly, Glenn. Exactly. That's a perfect way to put it.
Yep. And I'm a community guy. I did wrestling programs and baseball programs for
Billy. Yes,
years.
it is. That's exactly right too. It's dirty play. That's why. And it wouldn't bother me as much either. But the guy that runs DCCW, both of them, I'm good friends with them.
Yes.
And
we say we're good friends with them. It ain't like we've been good friends with them for years. We've known Jared Bird for a couple of years now. That's it.
Well, we met him years ago. We've been good friends with him for a couple
last year
years.
And a half. But I mean, we knew who he was, but we wasn't.
Yeah, we've been friends with him about last year and a half.
And I know what he's done for us.
And it's just plain and simple. If it wasn't for Jared Bird, Mike King, whatever name you want to go, give him that day, we wouldn't be sitting here doing what we're doing right now. We
wouldn't be doing a show right now.
I mean,
that's a fact.
That's 100%
a fact. 100% fact. I'm not going to go into the details, but that's 100% true. And that's why I have so much love for Jared. But I know what he's done for other people, not just us. I know what he's done for other people. I have mad respect for him. I have mad respect for DCCW and what their vision is and what they try to do. I'm not putting down the other place because they don't do those things. They're more about putting on a wrestling show, and I think they tried to please their fans, but it's more of just a regular wrestling show, and to that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not putting down that. I'm putting down what they've done attacking DCCW or anybody else.
Hey, I haven't heard the dogs lately. They okay? Yeah,
they're chilling.
They're just chilling. I think after they decided to destroy the studio that night, they calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, they backed off. I think they knew that they were. they knew they was in line to be taco meat coming up. And I'm just kidding. I'm not serious about that. I love the dog.
It's funny because they're actually that you said that because they're actually both laying right here on my couch here in the room and just chilling.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Yeah, but they're for a couple weeks. Billy's right over there for a couple weeks. You heard them every show.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. It's
aggravating.
It's aggravating
because this happens anytime they do a big show. This happens that these guys try to do something to try to sabotage it, and it gets old.
It does get old, and like I said, we go to every show that we go to. And we broadcast. All the people are great shows and do a great job. They may be different. I mean, they're not all the same, and you don't want them all to be the same. But they all are good people and have treated us with mad respect and treated us well. And so, I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down. But me and Chris has made no bones about it. We're DCCW homers. We are. We love what they do, and they've been great to us, and that's where we got our start. And we wouldn't be doing this right now
if it weren't for Jared. We wouldn't be still doing this, and we'd have never been. Well, I'm not gonna say never, but we might have never been able to even get into wrestling shows like we are if it wasn't for DCCW. They gave us our first chance. Then not only that, like a week later, after doing one of their shows, a couple weeks later, he got us in Kokomo.
Yep.
And then right after that, we was at WCWO, and then
we started getting interviews, and people started saying, "Hey, would you want to come?" And
that's where we got our start. We're loyal.
we're trying to be loyal and treat.
But even that, good. I mean, we go to all these, and I've made friends at all these wrestling organizations. Yes. I love going to Warrior Pro Wrestling.
Great organization.
I like going to Summit Pro. I love going to all of them. But everybody also knows if DCCW has a show, that's where we're going to be there.
But yeah,
and this other organization, we haven't broadcasted one of their shows before. We wouldn't watch one of their shows live. But the thing that bothers me, even like they do all that dirty stuff, but the thing that bothers me more is when you get online and try to tell people not to go to a show, because I've never seen nobody that's affiliated with DCCW ever do that to any show at all.
Yes.
They've never said, don't go to this show, don't go to this show. I've never heard anybody ever say that.
I went to the show, and I've got a real good friend that goes to every one of the shows.
Well, I'll go ahead and say it. Even Mike King. If we decided we was going to go over to IPW to I didn't mean to say, but we go over that other organization.
I didn't know what I'm saying.
If we decided to go over to other organization and broadcast one of their shows, Mike King wouldn't be over here telling us not to go or you shouldn't do that or whatever. You know what he's going to say? It's your business. You guys do what you think's best. And that's exactly what he wouldn't he? Exactly what he would say. He said, "You guys do what you think's best. It's your business. You do what you guys think is best for you." He wouldn't say, "No, don't go over there. You shouldn't do that." He wouldn't. But if it was the other way around, what would they be? You know what I mean? That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
It's all about growing wrestling in general. You shouldn't tell people not to go to a wrestling show.
No, and like I said, I got one of my best friends that I've known since. Like I said, I'm almost 60. I've known since I was 14 years old. He's 10, and he goes to the DCCW shows with us. But he loves that other organization. And he goes to all their shows, and he loves them. And that's great. That's great for him. And I'm glad that they got fans. They probably average 100, 150 people to their shows every month. That's good for them.
Well, we always said we want to help independent wrestling grow. So we like seeing people at shows. We go to a show and there's a big crowd. We're happy. Yes. I don't care whose show it is.
I'm glad that they're successful in that way. I just have issues with how they handle their other business.
And Billy, we appreciate that. But yeah, we still, there's organizations that we haven't been to that we're trying to get
No,
to.
that they
So,
get, they get online and they put out propaganda and they try to get people canceled. And you know how cancel culture is. We've seen it, and you see it every day.
don't get me started on that, because
But that's what they try to do.
it doesn't have nothing to do with them really. But there's a wrestler in the state of Indiana that should be on freaking TV
Would have been on TV right now, but he got canceled.
right now, and could be a
star,
a big star. He's so good, and it drives me nuts every time I watch him wrestle. To know that he basically just wrestles at a couple places anymore, and he's kind of gave up on his dream because of stupid shit.
Had a signed contract, and somebody, in my opinion, got jealous or whatever, and they got him canceled, and that's very unfortunate.
He had a signed contract, and right now, hell, that's been a few years ago. Right now, hell, he could maybe be real big company.
Who knows? Who knows?
He's good enough. I can't call him. Man.
Yeah, who knows what? But it sucks because it kind of killed his dream, and that's horrible.
Yeah, that's why it bothers me the most. Is
I know
it killed his dream, and because he's so good. I wish I'd have got to see him a couple before we did, because that was before when we first started watching, was after all that happened, and before that, when he was fully into wrestling. Just think what he looked like.
Well, we've seen some video.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen video, but just think what he looked like live.
Yeah,
when he was doing all that training. I know it's a sports betting show, and we went on a little tangent about wrestling.
Sorry about that. It just something came up on my phone, and I showed him, and it set us off a little bit.
Well, like we said, join us Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern for DCCW Invasion 4.
I just want to make something clear. If you're a fan of that other organization, I am no way attacking you. You like what you like. If you like going to both shows, if you like going to every single show that comes around this area or other areas, that is great, because you're supporting independent wrestling. I'm no way attacking any fans or anybody that likes that organization. Make sure that that's clear. I don't want people to think that, because I don't take sides that way. You like that, then you're an asshole. No. If you like that organization, you support that organization, I support you. Well, because you're supporting independent wrestling.
I know people that go to both, and that's awesome.
Yes.
And then people come up and talk to us and stuff. Hey, that's awesome. I don't personally go to both, but some of that is a lot of times. Some of it is the stuff that's happened, and the other part of it is that a lot of times there's other shows that we're scheduled at when they're going on.
And there's been things recently they did to a couple of people that we.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
There's things continue to happen, but But I will say this in closing on that: 100% DCCW is one of the best promotions in the state of Indiana. If definitely the best promotion of Muncie, in my opinion, not even close. Again, that's my opinion. And but definitely one of the best.
I second that opinion.
And I know a lot of people that would go along with that. And but just they're great people. And I mean, I know the work that they do. I know the wrestling shows they put on are fantastic. But beyond that,
I do want to ask Glenn a question real quick. He said he'd definitely go more if he had a card, but he lives in downtown Indy. Glenn, have you ever been to WCWO? It's not very far from Lucas Oil Stadium. They're on Kentucky Avenue. If you haven't, go check them out one time, man.
Every Friday night.
They do shows every Friday night, and actually now they got two different shows. They split their brand. They got two different brands, so like it alternates every Friday night. So if you go like 2 weekends in a row, you're going to see different talent.
And then the end of the month, they do the big show. Both.
Okay, he says he's been as close to his building. I was just wondering if you had, because I think real highly of them guys as well. And they to do a show every week like they do, and the storylines they come up with, they do a good job.
And that Joey Owens is another guy, and their family and those people that put on their shows there. I have mad respect for them.
And that's who we're going to be at Comic-Con with.
Yeah, I've just mad respect for those people too.
He said I haven't been in a while though. Yeah. They put on good shows, and that's where Glenn, I know Glenn, a lot of the guys you see at Warrior Pro wrestle there every Friday night. Dutch Boy, Jay Beeve, Rachel, Jackson Morgan, Dex Royal, Zay Gates,
Lizard King. Right.
Logan Myers,
Logan Myers,
Jordan James,
Blake Money Right.
Yeah, Blake Money Right. I mean, that's them guys. Them guys are there. Well, Blake's not there every Friday night anymore, but he's still there some.
And I don't
But
think
most of them guys are there. Most of them wrestlers are there about every Friday night. So I mean,
yes.
they
Rachel Armstrong. Yeah. Yeah. Can't say enough good things about JKO and WCWO. Put them over to the moon. They're kind of the brother and sister companies with DCCW. Just two fantastic places, and can't say enough good things about DCCW and the people that run that, and WCWO. And I got great things to say about War Pro Wrestling. The people run that. Got great things to say about people that run Summit Pro, and the camps have treated us great. So,
yeah, Glenn, we can definitely do that. And that are always about some chicken wings.
Oh yeah.
He said he's probably going to go check us out with WCW at Comic Con, though. But he says he's down to go get lunch at Hooters or
I wonder
something.
if he's ever had that chicken wings. Remember that one supposed to be the best in Indianapolis? What right across from that Mexican place we go? It's right across from the Mexican place. We've talked about the chicken wings, but we've never went there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what
It's
you're talking
right
about. I can't
across
think
from
of the
the
name of
Mexican
it. Yeah, I know what you're talking
We
about.
go to a Mexican restaurant there that we found, and it's really good.
Pacos.
Yeah, Pacos. Pacos tacos are outstanding.
Yeah, I forget what that wing place
I can't
is.
remember the name of it now.
But yeah,
but
he said Hooters is right across from the convention center.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
I know there's a B-Dubs down there too, but
We've probably been to that Hooters.
Oh yeah, we've been at Hooters a few times. That's
Yeah,
where
we seen that fight that time.
Yeah, after
seen
a
that
Pacer
fight,
after a Pacer game. Wasn't it?
It was after.
It was a Colts game. The Pacers or Colts.
Red Wine was there. I can't remember what it was after, but I remember was it AJ? I know that we went.
I think it was AJ
because there was a fight and you guys were all laughing.
And no, AJ and Red Wine. It was a Colts game. It was a Monday Night Football game.
Okay. Yeah, because
we had season tickets, but because I gave my season ticket up because I was going to be out of town for work.
Yep.
Well, then a snowstorm canceled us and works, and I came back, so I ended up getting a ticket down there because I wasn't going to take my ticket back from AJ.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I remember because that's when we got pulled over, and I got pulled out of the car.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell that damn story. Heading home back to Muncie, there's a great town called Knightstown.
Right by Newcastle.
By Newcastle, and there's a lot of tomato fields. And I'm asleep, and AJ's speeding, and AJ gets pulled over. Well, they just give him a warning, but they see me on the passenger side, and
I was in the back seat asleep.
He's back seat. He comes over, and I think I woke up, of course, but he pulls me out of the car. Told me, don't tell me why, but gets me out of the car. The police officer does, takes me back to his car. And he did ask me for my ID. And I said, sir, I didn't bring my ID because we went to the Colts game. I didn't bring my wallet. I just, when I go to games like that, I put $40, $50 of cash in my pocket. I don't take my wallet because pickpockets. That's what I always believe. So I didn't take any of that stuff. I didn't think I needed my ID. I don't drink. So I didn't need my ID. And so he takes me back there and give me a hard time and goes back to the car. And because I'm Mexican, he goes back to them and wants to know if they pick me up.
He said his exact words is, "How do you guys know him?"
Yes, he thought I was an illegal by looking at me, which I don't even speak Spanish. I'm half Mexican. I don't even speak the language.
Me and AJ should have said we didn't know you. We
just killed both of you.
Oh no, we just picked them up on the side of the road.
Yeah, I'd have been in jail. But
But it's freezing outside.
Yeah, it was freezing.
You didn't have a coat on or nothing.
Well, when we left, it was warm, and the wind. It wasn't necessarily that it was cold. The wind was blowing about 50 miles an hour, and so I said, "Can you let me get back in the car?" No, I said, "Can you put me in your police car? I'm cold." I went to put my hands in my pocket. He said, "You can't put your hands in your pocket." I was getting very frustrated. I was very frustrated.
Oh yeah, they did. They thought we picked up an illegal.
No, I wasn't dressed as a jockey.
a Mexican jockey laughing out loud.
Let's make this clear. I've never been dressed as a jockey. I did have a whip in my hand, which was kind of weird but I'll explain that again. My wife was given the whip after the horse track after the races.
Oh, that was awesome.
And we went to a concert.
Mexican jockey.
I'm trying to remember the concert we seen. It was one.
Andrew Young.
No, it was a pretty big name. Molly Hatchet.
Okay.
It was Molly Hatchet there at the casino for free. We seen Molly Hatchet, and we go to leave, and asked my wife, I said, "You want me to carry that whip for you?" And she said, "Yeah." And then we couldn't have got 20 steps, and the dude stops me. Hey, are you a jockey? I said, Yeah. And he said, "Can I get a picture with you?" I said, "Sure." And my wife and my friends just come unglued. They're on the floor, but the guy's walking. He's got a picture of a jockey. At least he thinks he does.
Oh man.
So whatever. But
Oh yeah, I'll never forget that night we got pulled over. That was
Oh.
funny. He came to the car and he said, how do you guys know him? And me and AJ kind of looked at each other. I was like, well, he's my dad.
Well, I think that was before the Hoosier Grand was even built.
Yep.
It's been a lot of years now.
Yeah, this has been
flirting with disaster.
what, 15 years
Probably
ago.
15 years ago. I think it was before that was built, but yeah.
No, it's been longer than that because this one we had season tickets in 2000.
Yeah. That's probably before around time Austin.
Yeah, it was right. Yeah, it was basically the football season after Austin was born.
Yeah,
we had season tickets.
About 20,
about
23 years
yeah.
ago. That was a long time ago. But yeah, I was not happy.
Hey, we've seen Molly Hatchet a few times.
Oh, one time
we saw Molly Hatchet one time. He was so drunk. He could. The lead singer, he couldn't even come out to sign autographs after the show.
He was over throwing up a trash can.
And all the other band members just cracking up laughing.
Yeah.
We've seen them a few times at Rip Festival. They're good.
Yep.
All right. You got any other stories you want to tell before we get out of here?
We went on a tangent then.
I'll give out my picks one more time before we get out of here.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
They probably forgot all that.
Yeah, they're probably thinking about jockeys. And I love that Mexican jockey.
Half Mexican jockey. Hey, we was at Shelbyville eating barbecue buffet.
Yeah, they thought both of us were jockeys.
Two older people sitting over said, "Excuse me," and we said, "Yeah." I said, "Don't mean to be rude, but are you guys jockeys?" And we said no. And said, "Well, we thought maybe because I think we went there for the Preakness or one of the big races. It wasn't the Derby, I know." And
It was a Preakness.
Preakness. They was wanting to know if we had any tips for horses, and I said no.
Oh, he also used to be able to get free watches and stuff at the baseball games.
Yeah. We went to a Cincinnati Reds game, and all my kids were small.
Yeah, I think I was maybe 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Also, so that means Jeff was probably about 5.
4, and then Franny was there too, probably 2. So you guys were probably 8, 9.
We're all about 3 years apart.
3 years apart, yeah. And we're all walking in, and they're giving out free watches for kids, and
like 12 and under or something.
12 and under, and all 3 of them got a watch, and they give me a watch too. And my wife did get one, but I got one. And my wife, honestly, I'm 4'11 3/4. I think my wife's 4'11, so she's actually shorter than I am. But another time at the fair here in Muncie, we all walked in, and the only one they charged an adult was my daughter or my wife. I got in free too as a kid. So
Billy said "Kids Day" laughing out loud.
Yep.
Back when it was Synergy Field.
Yep.
Actually, I think at that time it might have still been Riverfront.
It was Riverfront.
Yeah, it was still Riverfront.
It was Riverfront. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Billy, I got to see the Reds in the World Series in 1975. 76 when they beat the Yankees and swept them the Yankees in 4 hours of game 2.
Never been to a World Series yet. Hopefully the Reds get to one sometime. Last time they were in one, I was 10.
Yep, 1990.
All right, my picks for tonight, real quick. Cavs -4.5, Timberwolves -2, Celtics +2.5. Baseball, Mets -1.5, Mariners -1.5, and the Yankees -1.5. We appreciate everybody joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed the show,
the tangent,
and some stories. But do you have anything else?
I better get off here before I go off again. So,
also, real quick, join us or check out Unscripted tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Jay McLovin, probably Logan Landers. I don't know if Frankie will be on there. I'll be on there. But check that show out. Them guys are good guys.
Yeah, Unscripted's a great show.
And like we said, don't forget. Oh, tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, we have a big interview. Yep. When I say big, it's big because the freight train, Brody Botkins, is going to be joining us. Brody's an awesome wrestler. He's a big dude, but he can move. I think there's big things ahead for him in his future. I know one opportunity as came up. I'm gonna wait and let him talk about that more tomorrow. But yeah, you don't want to miss the conversation with Big Brody Botkins tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, live YouTube, Facebook, Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network. So join us for that tomorrow. We appreciate everybody watching. This has been Easy Money, a sports betting show. We'll be back tomorrow right around 3:30. Hope everybody has a great Tuesday. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.